Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Well, I should be saying welcome. I just got here, and you've all been here all the time, but anyway. My name's Adriaan Brink. I've been in gambling on the internet since 1995. I actually started the very first internet gambling site, which is a lottery in Liechtenstein. Who knows where Liechtenstein is? Anyone? Yeah, it's a very, very small country between Switzerland and Austria. We decided to get into the game then and put the wires in, got Visa to take credit card transactions for the first time, and it was all very pioneering and interesting. Later on, I got into payments with Earthport.com, which is now listed on the London Stock Exchange, because payments, of course, are very important for gaming. So my background is one of disruption, one of being early pioneer in technology. And with Earthport, we were pioneers in disrupting the payment space. Right now, today, many, many companies copy that model, and it's become a very common model for cross-border and cross-currency payments. Now I'd like to introduce you to BetterBetting. What BetterBetting is, it's a combination of my passion for gaming and my passion for payments in a blockchain-based betting system. Not the same as the one you just saw. We guys, we've been in this industry. I've been in this game for 22 years. I know how betting works. I've worked for these operators who supposedly are dishonest and so on. Actually, most of them aren't. Most sportsbooks pay out their winners and so on and so forth. That's not our key core proposition. What we want to do is make things more efficient, make it easier to place a bet, using blockchain as the fundamental solution. You probably all know that gentleman there, Ronnie O'Sullivan. We were having dinner, and I was telling him about what I'm doing, and he said, "Please, can I invest?" I said, "Ronnie, we don't need your money, but put your picture on the front page," which he did. Unfortunately, he bombed out last week, so otherwise I could say he won last week. So what have we got? Ethereum, which we're basing our platform on for now and might move in the future, is too slow for sports betting, fundamentally. I don't know how many of you understand sports betting, but prices move very, very fast. An average Premier League game will have perhaps 250 markets with maybe 3 to 5 selections on average. So you're looking at 500 to 1,000 prices that change all the time. Players go near the goal, the prices change. That's how sports betting works. This high-speed data just doesn't work on blockchain. So what we've developed is a thing called a BBN, or we call it a BBN anyway, which is a distributed database of pricing. Anyone can put prices onto it. Anyone can take prices off it. You can build UXs on top of it. You can build a mobile interface. You can build a web-based interface to display these prices, to essentially create a sports book based on the pricing on the network. But the important point is anyone can contribute to that pricing. So as an individual, you can say, "I want to lay Chelsea to win at 2-1. And put your price up there and put the amount of money you're prepared to risk, and you're in the network. Similarly, sportsbooks can offer their offer on the system. So we have APIs where sportsbooks can API their system into ours and offer their pricing on the network. So we're essentially combining pricing from multiple sources and offering it to punters to place bets on. Once a bet is placed, it's placed on the Ethereum blockchain. Funds are escrowed from the punter. Funds are escrowed from the operator or the individual on the other side of the bet. And when the result is known, the bet is settled automatically on the blockchain, fairly, transparently. And that pretty much covers that entire slide. Yeah. One last point there, the liability is quite interesting. One tends to think in terms of liability for bets like Betfair, where if you lay a 2-1 bet, you've got to put up twice the money as a punter. We have a more sophisticated sportsbook model for liability, so the escrow on the side of the layer is calculated across their risk across the event or the markets, which means it's more practical for sportsbooks. It's not practical for a sportsbook to lay every bet dollar for dollar for how much the punter's putting up. We don't charge. Zero margin, zero fees, apart from a very small fee to cover the gas cost. And that's we're working with the current version of Ethereum now. In future, the gas costs will be able to be borne by the smart contract, and we'll be building that into the system. Open source. We'll be open sourcing our software. You'll be able to pick up a sportsbook client from GitHub, change the logo, maybe filter out the prices from certain operators if you like, and offer your own version of the sportsbook. We're really aiming to change the way sportsbooks work. So if you're Bet365, you may pick up our open source client and put Bet365 in the front and filter out only your prices. That's fine by us. For us, it's all about providing the railway tracks of the underlying method for the money to move around the system. I've mentioned the APIs already. Support, we've had a huge support in Asia particularly and South America. We're very glad that we're not starting from a standing start. Our Asian sportsbooks are already buying into the currency. They bought into the early rounds, and they're buying in now. And that means that our token will hit the ground running from the end of our ICO, which is in 10 days' time, on the 31st of January. So on the 31st of January, we stopped the public sale. We finished the pre-sales last year. And the token will start trading, and I imagine it will trade in a northerly direction, although one shouldn't make predictions of this nature. BETR is the token name. We've mentioned the integrated escrow and resulting. There's a 650 hard cap, of which about 500 is liquid. The rest is in various reserves. And as I mentioned, we have liquidity from launch with existing operators. And the last point is a bit vague, but basically, we don't want pump and dump on this token. I'm not interested in a token that goes like a jigsaw puzzle. No one can bet like that. We'd like the price to be nice and smooth. Obviously, it'd be nice if it goes north, but the main thing is not to have wild swings. So we're offering to buy back tokens from operators, from investors at whatever the market price is, and if there's any large chunks out there. So we don't want to have people dumping tokens on the market. I don't know how I'm doing for time, actually, but that's our wonderful team, guys. Look at those pictures. Aren't they amazing? So Heli, my partner, director of the world's fastest poker growing network, GG Network. Ian Sharrington created the very first internet sportsbook, Intertops, went live in 1996. Mitchell Rankin from Scientific Games put in place most of the FOB-Ts around the UK. You're going to throw me off here, aren't you? I'm staying. John Matonis, director of the Bitcoin Foundation. Jez Sand, Funfair. You've all heard of Funfair. It's got about 500 mil market cap right now. I'll stop, whatever.